This is what the carrier Melbourne is all about, aircraft. The Skyhawks are a front line of attack and defence. The A4 transonic jets are the fighting teeth of the Fleet Air Arm. They carry their own weight and armament payload. The very presence of the sleek, ear-piercing flying war machines creates an atmosphere in the carrier difficult to explain. It's a sort of welcome home feeling, mixed with the security that comes when Big Brother is back. But there's no welcome party. In fact, bringing the jets on board involves, in one way or another, every section of the vessel's company. Every ounce of skill and concentration is in top gear during flying operations, particularly by pilots and flight deck crews. This heaving, pitching strip of steel, less than half the size of a football field, is a small, unpredictable, and to the uninitiated, almost unbelievable place on which to put down a plane in one piece. Ultimately, of course, the responsibility is on the pilot's shoulders, but of all the backup he gets, none perhaps is more important than the landing signals officer. No longer do they wave batons, they're now talked in on radio, and significantly, the LSO is an experienced pilot. Do you think the pilots have more confidence in the fact that there is a pilot on the final approach?
I'm sure they do, yes. I think that the LSO has really proven his worth on board here because of the closeness of the ramp to the wires. I think you can say that the LSOs have saved quite a few aircraft since we've been back.
How did you feel the first time you put down on this deck?
Terrified, absolutely terrified. It's something which, in the Skyhawk anyway, you can only do it by yourself. You can't have an instructor with you. And so the first time you actually do land on board, it is by yourself, and everything just happens. Even though you've been briefed about it, you don't realise how severe and sudden the forces are until you actually hit the deck yourself.
I guess every landing is a new experience too.
It is too. Everything changes. The deck can be pitching, can be rolling. Of course, visibility can be different, and overall, it's. I don't think there's any two landings that are exactly the same.
The ultimate aviation experience, according to pilots like Lieutenant Peter Cox, must be a catapult launch from Melbourne, particularly now. Improvements to this steam-propelled sling were part of the recent refit.
Well, the catapult's another very exciting experience. It's something you can't describe to anybody because of the forces you feel on your body. The Skyhawk itself launches at about 5.5 G, and that's enough force that you can't hold your head against it. You have to brace your head up against the seat. You can't hold your hand forward. You've got to have it held onto something which is solid on the aircraft. That's about the force of it, and you just have no control until you get off the catapult itself and then flying. Once you're off the ship and flying, you can then start to act and control the aircraft.
Peter, if something goes wrong either landing or taking off, what is the percentage-wise chances of you getting out of it?
Well, we've had very few accidents on board. Skyhawk-wise, we've had, in the 6 odd years that we've been flying on board the ship, we've only had one accident where we've lost the aircraft, and that was a catapult malfunction just off Singapore, where the aircraft dribbled over the front and ended up in the water. The only other accident has been a ram strike at night time, which is the aircraft flying into the back of the ship from a settle. That one recovered back at Narrow, even though the undercarriage was completely written off. So I'd say the percentage of getting out of trouble is very close to 99.5%, around that percentage.